And you know what he orders in this $400,000 car? He says, let me get a senior citizen Coke. What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne.
I'm Isha Wayne.
And thank you for joining us in another video. Today is a very sad day because today I'm going to explain to you why Bentley is giving the Mulsanne their flagship model, the X. Isha, this is my favorite car Bentley has produced in a long time because once you see it, it just has a presence that you just can't find in the rest of the Bentley fleet.
Insert crying face.
So the Bentley Mulsanne has been produced from 2010 to 2020. This year they're coming out with a final edition model. Hopefully we'll get a chance to take a look at that. But this is just the pinnacle of luxury in the Bentley fleet. This is top notch. Look at the finishes, the materials in this car.
Yeah, it's really nice. I was admiring that. For 2012, you really can't tell that, you know, I mean, I love the way that they carry their classic design throughout all of their vehicles.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the screen, okay, is small, so that's outdated. But other than that, you really can't tell.
Yeah, you cannot tell, especially if you're the average person. Why are they getting rid of the Mulsanne?
Because it's too big, too expensive. Maybe nobody has the money to buy it.
So, truth be told, the Mulsanne is Bentley's worst selling model in quite some time. It came about in 2010 when it replaced the Arnage, and quite frankly, during Arnage production, that car was having some trouble with sales. When the Arnage was doing really well, it was selling up to 675 units a year, and then towards the end of its production, it was down to about maybe 250 units per year.
Sad.
So that's when Bentley said, hey, we need to come out with a new car, and that's how you got the Mulsanne. Now, on average,
it didn't work.
It didn't work because this car is selling on average maybe 500 units a year.
For marketing.
I don't think it's marketing. I think it's what people want.
That's true.
So on average, they're selling 500 units of this car per year.
That's sad.
Which is, you know, it's not a lot. If you look at other models in the Bentley range, such as the Flying Spur, that's outselling this car 6-1. So for every 6 Flying Spurs sold, maybe there's one Mulsanne that gets sold. And, you know, we've been to Bentley dealerships. You notice when we go to Bentley Atlanta, typically there's only one Mulsanne in inventory.
I've noticed that.
Because they sell just one at a time, right? It's not the car that sells the most. And, you know, speaking of sales, if you look at the past 2 years, the new Bentayga has taken the credit for at least 50% of Bentley sales. So people are going towards SUVs. That's what the market demands. Right, wrong, or indifferent, pretty much every manufacturer out there has an SUV. You know, you got the RollsRoyce Cullinan, Lamborghini has an SUV. Never thought I'd say that if you asked me that 10 years ago. Ferrari, even though it's against their religion, they're coming out with an SUV. I can't believe that either.
And my Bentayga. The
Bentayga, yeah, of course. So the market is geared towards SUVs right now. That's what people are wanting. So a lot of manufacturers like Ford have even decreased the amount of different sedans they offer. So the Bentley Mulsanne is obviously a high-end luxury sedan. That's a very niche market, right? So your sales aren't really going to be up there. Now, another major factor is that this is a coach-built vehicle. Back in the day, Bentley and Rolls-Royce specialized in coach-built vehicles. This vehicle's made by hand. It takes 9 to 12 weeks just to manufacture a Mulsanne. So that's very labor-intensive. That's not cost-effective. You're talking about well over 400 hours of labor to manufacture this car. Now, if they're being able to sell cars like the Flying Spur, the Continental GT, and the Bentayga at higher volumes, and that car is not made by hand, why would you keep this car in the lineup, you know? It's just not cost effective.
It's not economical. You know, these high-end luxury companies are looking to create something that's more economical, where more people can afford them. However, that puts people who probably shouldn't be in this clientele, in this type of vehicle, in the market, right?
Subject for another video, but you're right on with that.
I'm just saying, but they're trying to open it up because they're trying to make sales as well.
Right.
But sometimes you have to stay true to your brand.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
These vehicles are not built for everyone, and that's just is what it is.
It is what it is. They're not.
So
they're not. Let's talk about the power plant. So up front, the Mulsanne is powered by the famous 6 3/4 liter V8. If you're familiar with Bentley and Rolls-Royce, you're familiar with that engine because they've used it in most of their vehicles. This power plant has been in production since, you know, for well over 60 years. So it's time for it to go.
Yeah,
you know?
that's impressive.
It is. I mean, my dad had a 1979 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2. 1979 had the same engine in it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Of course, they've made some, you know, minor upgrades into the technology of it. So it's not like it's the same 1969 motor, engine. But okay, that's pretty impressive.
It is. And in this Mulsanne, it's putting out 505 horsepower and over 700 pound-feet of torque. So when I lay into it,
be careful.
It gets up and goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This car is a car that really just picks itself up. And you're just not going to get that in a lot of luxury vehicles today. So again, you're getting tons of power and a vehicle that weighs 6,000 pounds. Remember how I said in previous videos, especially in the Bentley and Rolls-Royce comparison videos, that, you know, Bentleys are cars that are made to be driven. While they do offer that high-end luxury that you get in Rolls-Royce, this is really a driver's car. That's what separates the Mulsanne from the Phantom. So to say that the sales of the Phantom impacted the Mulsanne is not really true, because remember, you had the Arnage out when the Phantom was on sale as well. So again, these cars are going after two completely different buyers. So what's going to replace the Mulsanne when it's gone? So there's talk that Bentley's offering a completely bespoke coach-built vehicle just to, you know, a few people who have really deep pockets, and that car would probably be costing, you know, 7 figures, which is a different bracket. But if you look at the Flying Spur we reviewed recently, Isha, that car, if you notice, they kind of stepped up the gap of where the Mulsanne was and where the previous generation Flying Spur was, with the amount of luxury, technology, and detail that they provided in the interior. So, you know, all isn't lost. There's still a high performance luxury sedan made by Bentley, which is stunning in its own right, that's available to people. But you're just not going to be able to buy the Mulsanne. You know, more people are buying the Flying Spur anyway. That car has a dual clutch transmission, plenty of power. I mean, when it comes to technology and handling, it's going to smoke the Mulsanne, quite frankly. But this is just a beautiful car. It truly is. One of my favorite features about this car is just the luxury that you get in the inside. Look at all this wood in the interior. You know, it's like they put an entire forest in this car. I mean, if it looks like leather, it's leather. If it looks like wood, it's wood. If it looks like metal,
like Starbucks, it's Starbucks.
And if it looks like metal, it's metal. Every video you hit me with that Starbucks.
I know, but we drive past it one all the time.
Well, yeah, that might be something I'll have to change in the future.
Change the route.
Yeah, change the route. But just the way this car rides, it's like we're floating, you know, and you can't even tell that this is a 2012 model we're in.
No, right. It's very impressive. I would get it.
It's a silky smooth ride. And comparing it to present day vehicles, if you're looking at a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, optioned well, that car could cost you nearly 120 grand. This is a 2012 available for $99,000. You know,
only 99,000.
Only 99,000. You know, some of you guys, you know, might go on eBay to see, you know, what are the prices some of these high-end cars, don't put me out there.
He means himself.
What are the prices some of the high-end vehicles are going for these days? And you know, if you look, you'll be able to find awesome offerings like this. You know, if you don't care about having the latest and greatest, a 2012 Mulsanne has a lot more clout than a 2020 S-Class, because, you know, while the S-Class is a nice car, you could argue that you might see one every day. You're not going to see a Mulsanne every day. This is a sight to behold. When you see it, it's a celebration. At least for me it is, you know, being my favorite car. The craftsmanship that went into this vehicle is the reason why it costs nearly $400,000 when it's new. So to be able to pick one up for 99 grand a few years later, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
Definitely a no-brainer. So if you're looking into picking up a Mulsanne, I suggest going with the 2017 or later. I mean, they're all great cars, but the 2017 is when they, you know, did some minor upgrades to the suspension, the technology on the interior. They all look the same, but that's just, to me, the finest version of it. Now, the really rare version is going to be the EWB, because there's only 25 of those in the United States.
I like that. So, you guys, if you've never seen an EWB before, he has a video on that, and we'll leave that linked below. But that car is like, oh, I'm coming right from, you know, going to the red carpet and giving me my champagne and chauffeuring me around. It's on that level. It's a
really nice car.
You know,
it's a car that is dedicated towards making sure there's enjoyment for passengers in the back. You know, there's extra leg room. The sunroof has been moved to the back. It's a beautiful
really
vehicle.
Nice.
So if you can find one of those, you know, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But this car it truly has a remarkable presence to it. I remember we had one for our wedding. It was a white car.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And it was just stunning. A funny story. So after the wedding, I was just driving around town in the Mulsanne. I loved the car. I was just enjoying it as much as possible. And we had family and friends over in town. Had my friend Willie and my best friend Brandon there. And my uncle was in town, and, you know, they wanted to go to Chick-fil-A. So we went to Chick-fil-A in a Bentley Mulsanne, $400,000 vehicle, right? We make our orders. My uncle's in the back. He's like, pull up so I can order something. And you know what he orders in this $400,000 car? He says, let me get a senior citizen Coke. And I just put my head down.
But they give discounts.
They give discounts,
he wanted his discount.
It's like a 50-cent discount. So he's like, let me get a senior citizen Coke. So we pull around the corner, and people just like completely lose it. They come outside and look at this car, and the guy eventually comes with our order, and he's like, hey, did you order the couple number ones and the senior citizen Coke? And I'm just like, yes.
But he was trying to get his discount. Yes. They give discount at Sweet Tea. Matter of fact, I'm going to use my mom for that discount, okay?
But I feel like when you're in a car like this, you know, you better have a good explanation as to why you're ordering a senior citizen Coke.
Because he's a senior citizen. He's trying to get his 50 cents off, too.
I guess. I don't know. It's memories like that I'll never forget. So I just truly hate to see this car go. But, you know, it's not economical for Bentley anymore. You know, not a lot of people are buying it. You got the Bentayga out there because everybody wants an SUV now. That's over 50% of the sales. So the argument is just
right. I mean, at this time, Bentley's trying to do what's most economical, feasible for their clients, for their company, and because that this model's going doesn't mean that they're not going to bring out something bigger, better, and greater, because they always do. So, you know, I mean, if you like this vehicle, you can still pick it up, because these vehicles last for a long time. Just take care of them and they will take care of you.
Right. They say most Rolls-Royce and Bentley vehicles outlive their owners. So like 30 years from now, this car will still be rolling on the street as long as it's taken care of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's built by hand. It's built right. You know, you're getting quality that you typically won't find in many other manufacturers aside from like Rolls-Royce. So, I mean, this is the real deal. You know, for those of you who still want a huge sedan with all the luxury, you could imagine there's still the Rolls-Royce Phantom out there, but it's not going to give you that driving experience you would get from a Bentley. but it's still definitely an enjoyable ride. And again, like I said, if you still want a Bentley, you still want to have that performance characteristics in the car and still have that sporty handling with all the luxury, you still have the Flying Spur. With the new grille they put on the Flying Spur, it almost looks like a Mulsanne, to be honest. But that's truly an amazing vehicle, and a vehicle that's here to stay. Dual clutch transmission, you know, you still, you know, maybe you won't miss this car too much depending on who you are. But for me, this is the end of an era. I love these cars. It's the last you're gonna see of the 6 3/4 liter that's been in production for 60 years. That's in most Bentley and Rolls-Royce vehicles to date, at least Bentley at least. But what an incredible machine.
It is.
So with that, I'm gonna end the video here. Isha, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, it's you know, it's sad to see it go, but like I said, they're gonna come out with something else that's more economical and maybe more people can purchase. But we'll see what's to come. I mean, they have to do what's best for them, but like I said, these cars will still be around.
Right. So they'll definitely be around.
Yeah.
If you want to pick one up pre-owned,
right,
like that's the move, because like I said, you could spend 120, 150 grand on a newer car.
The thing about it is you don't even know, like, the year of it. I would have never known it's 2012.
Most people won't even know.
It doesn't look outdated. The only thing that told me it was older was the screen, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because all of everything else looks like a Bentley.
Exactly.
You know.
And quite frankly, you know, nobody uses a navigation system in their cars anyway. You know, most of the time,
yeah, I guess
people like to use their phones.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the subject for another video. But overall, you know, the interior, the form, fit, and finish of everything, the comfort of the seats. This is just a beautiful vehicle. You know, there's tons of space in the back, so sitting in the back is also an enjoyable ride. I'm truly going to miss this car when it's gone. But for now, I think that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, share with a friend, hit that notification bell, and we'll catch you in the next video.